darling hearts, it's Gaps Coach Emma here, Timeless Cookery. I want to talk to you about good versus bad. The eternal story of light and darkness, or whatever. Anyway, in relation to gut bugs, because as you know, we are in a symbiotic relationship. That means living together happily, needing each other. One cannot live without the other. We are living in symbiosis with trillions and trillions and trillions of bacteria and fungus and virus and mold spores and all sorts, right? We're like a massive ecosystem. We're like a universe. You are your very own universe made up of all these trillion. We can't even begin to start to break it down and study each one of them individually to isolate that particular strain of that particular blah. What's more, there's this thing called polymorphism, right? Which means that a bacteria might start off looking like one of those look like a tic-tac, and then a bit later on, when it's doing a different job, it's going to morph into a little spirochete with a little corkscrew tail on it and do something else. These are amazing beings. We don't even know how they work. It's really amazing. So when we say the good guys, we generally mean the probiotic bacteria that are beneficial to our health, that keep our pH at a good level, the good guys that keep the bad guys in check. Hi, Becca. And the bad guys, generally speaking, are, the pylori, H. pylori, the candida, you name it. But here's the thing, right? There is no such thing as a good bacteria and a bad bacteria. There's no such thing as something that is all good. And there's no such thing as something that is all bad. We all have all of the different kinds of bacterial strains. There's kind of beneficial types of E. coli and types of E. coli that if they bloom and overgrow will kill you without a shadow of a doubt. That's very clear. But we actually have all of them in our system, and the body, in its infinite wisdom, calls on them specifically to help with specific jobs. This is what is in Dr. Natasha's latest book, the Blue Book, Gut and Physiology Syndrome. This is how she describes it, that these bugs are the cleaners. They're like the cleaning team. They're like vacuum cleaners, and they're like cleaning ladies and cleaning men. They go around the body, these little creatures, cleaning. And thank heavens for them, because they help us to tidy up the toxic rubbish that's in us. And the only reason we're all riddled with parasites and bugs of all this, the so-called bad bugs, is because we're so toxic, because of chemical corporation malpractice, because of governments either not being aware or choosing to turn a blind eye to the poisoning that's been going on. All these decades, really, since the Second World War, since the First World War, since they'd started to use the residues from the bombs as industrial agricultural fertilisers, the nitrogen from the bombs, they changed. They went, what are we going to do with all this nitrogen from all these bombs now the war's finished? I know. We'll make it into some stuff and we'll spray it on the land to feed the plants, which was an artificial way of doing it. And yes, the plants responded and grew twice as big, and all the farmer was like, hell yeah, I want that. Give me some of that artificial fertilizer. But the unintended consequence of that was that it killed the soil microbiome, not microbiome, the biodiversity of microbes in the soil. It killed them. So after 40, 50 years of annual use with these artificial fertilizers, it just killed all the bacteria in the soil. So the soil's basically dead, right? That's kind of what's happening to us on a really slow burn, just a drip by drip, just a tiny micro doses. That is what is happening to us, is that our microbiome is getting less and less diverse. What we want is all the good guys and all the bad guys, right? We want all of them. You'll find that when there's this wonderful cultivated biodiversity, you'll find that it'll keep itself in check, because Mother Nature's miraculously amazing that way. She just designs it that way, and it's only us meddling with the natural balance by introducing all these molecules that we've created, foreign molecules in the chemistry lab, that's messed up the balance. That's basically the bottom line, really. Hi, Karen. yeah, so we need to culture and cultivate and encourage all the bacteria. I mean, it makes me a little bit laissez-faire with when I drop something on the floor in the kitchen, I just pick it up and chuck it back in and eat it. I want a really wide variety of bugs in my guts. And there are going to be parasites, because everyone's got parasites, because the parasites are the cleaners. The bad guys, perceived bad guys, actually are helping us to do a job. So when we can have a paradigm shift like that, it's going to make you much more accepting of whatever state you're in, because you go, oh, it's okay. I'm not being parasitized. They're not trying to eat me. They're not trying to get me. They're there trying to do a job, and actually I'm going to let them do their job. I'm going to facilitate them doing their job by, basically, I'm not going to eat any more toxins. So I'm not going to eat the opiates of the masses and the industrial food, because it's full of E numbers and it's full of chemicals and it's full of stuff that your body doesn't recognize as food. They are food-like products. It's not really food, right? So I'm going to avoid those toxins. I'm going to give myself nutrient-dense, clean foods that come from a beautiful source. And I'm going to eat ferments that I'm going to make myself. I'm going to make my own ferments. It's ever so quick and ever so easy. If you want to learn, just go to timelesscookery.com and join my Timeless Cookery Club, because I'm offering my core teachings, the 12-hour-long Get Going with Gaps, for free when you join Timeless Cookery Club before winter solstice. That's the 21st of December 2021. It's an amazing offer. And, you know, after the winter solstice, I'm going back to we can go and check on timelesscookery.com for what the prices usually are, but it's a massive bargain. And I'm doing it because I want you all to be happy, healthy and well. So yeah, we need to get over this idea of good guys, bad guys. Same in the big wide world, really. Because yeah, there are dark forces and there are light forces. But without the dark forces, you know, the light cannot burn so bright. You don't get shadow without the light as well. The light creates a shadow. It's like yin and yang, day and night. You can't have one without the other. And there's no such thing as something that's completely good, and there's no such thing as something that's completely bad. I don't think there is. I mean, that's my thinking on it. So I've come around to this way of thinking where I go, oh, thank you, dark forces. You know, thank you for creating this. You know, what's going on. Well, we're all creating it, aren't we, with our imaginations, aren't we? We're all creating what's happening. I've kind of been really accepting of the dark baddies, because being judgmental about it is going to get me nowhere. You know, pointing fingers and going, you're really bad, you're doing bad things, is sort of negating the unity and the wholeness. We're all one. It's like you with your good guys and bad guys, the gut bugs. Hi, Sarah from beautiful Sarah from Australia. I'm sending you masses of living light shining your way. I'm just trying to integrate the dark forces who are currently, you know, they're you know, we need to be neutrally accepting of them, because it is like day and night, yin and yang, light and dark, you know. If we're being them and us about things, then there is no unity, there is only judgment. And that's not our place to be judgmental. Our place is to be neutral and accepting, which is really, really difficult. It's a massive challenge. This is part of the massive challenge of being Earth School at this time. And it's the same with your gut bugs. You know, you've got both sides of the coin, as it were. And what we need to do is just starve out. Don't eat the toxins. Starve the so-called baddies. Like, don't give them their food. That means don't rise to the bait. Don't get all angry. Don't get frustrated, because that is actually feeding them. That's actually encouraging them. You know, we need to stay in a kind of a giggly, mirthful, which is really hard when you're not feeling well. Believe me, I know. But we need to stay in a kind of a neutral, accepting space. Anyway, if that has made any sense whatsoever, I'm sending you so much love. Tell everyone about the Timeless Cookery Club. Awesome deal. Join my monthly membership and you get all the core teachings of Get Going with Gaps for free until the 21st of December this year, which is the winter solstice, which is the returning of the light, when the days start to get longer again. And yeah, so much love to you all. Bye-bye, Sarah. Bye, Becca. Bye, Karen. Love you. Bye.